right, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of New Lunar Radio. I'm your host, Shay Brony, and with me, as always,
Some guy.
some guy. That's right. Our some guy today is Daylight Darkle, or at least played by Daylight Darkle. So, hopefully you enjoy that.
I had it all.
And this week we're going to talk about Rarity Takes Manhattan, sorry, not Manhattan.
How much did you take?
She took it all.
Oh no.
And we're also going to have some news for you after we talk about what happened in the show.
Okay.
So, first we'll start with the rundown of the show. Show starts off, Rarity, being a complete diva, has 2 whole piles worth of bags, as is not unexpected of her at this point. And she reveals that they're going to Manhattan so she can compete in a contest for Fashion Week, and she's bringing all of her friends. And to congratulate and to thank her friends for coming with her to cheer her on, she got them tickets for a show on Bridal Way called called Henny of the Hills. They are all excited, and Pinky quotes that she loves jumping up and down because everybody's jumping up and down. So, whatever. They ask her how they got tickets. How they end up getting on the train, then they go to Manhattan, they're walking around, they ask Rarity, or Twilight asks Rarity how she got the tickets, and she gave away costume designs to the costume designer of the show. So that tells me that he's not a very good costume designer. But, whatever. She also says that Manhattan pretty much runs on, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. But to the contrary, we find out later. Rainbow Dash then quotes that she really likes Henny of the Hills. Nerd. You like
Nerd.
musicals.
Musicals are lame.
So she quotes, "Pony's just bursting into a song at the drop of a hat. Who does that?" Well, all of you. Every single one of you have done that, including you, Rainbow Dash. But in this particular instance, it is Rarity that breaks into a song. So, for the first time this season, I personally did not enjoy this song as much as the others. But it's a song about generosity and how Rarity does it better than anybody else, I guess. Is what the takeaway is from it, or at least her and her friends do it better than anybody else. My notes here that I put down for the song were she gives the bellhop a giant jewel for gratuity before he even does anything, and then he offers to get her change. Like, okay. I've never heard of anybody that takes gratuity offering to get change for said gratuity. And my other note was, damn, she's so generous. Because she's doing all kinds of generous things, like giving up her scarf and stuff.
Is she generous, though?
Damn, she's so generous. But...
Damn, she's so generous. She's so generous. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey.
So... we find out at the end of the song, after the song, that there's nothing else that she really needs help with. The dresses are done, and she only needs to get there by 2 o'clock, or else she'll be disqualified. Which Pinky points out that it's only 10 minutes away. So, oh shit, she's got 10 minutes to get there. She sang too long.
Maybe if they didn't spend so much time singing.
Too generous. And then...
Too generous 5 time.
So they round the corner looking for a cab, and there's a really long line for a cab. And it turns out, just like New York, which Manhattan is supposed to represent, everybody's a bunch of jerks. But she finally lucks out, and the cab that she helped during the song that had a broken wheel that she fixed with magic. Cam comes around and picks her up. She rushes off, but oh snap! She forgot the dresses.
Oh no.
But don't worry, Main 6 ran back.
We're not worrying.
But the Main 6 ran back, and the bellhop with super speed was able to get the dresses over there just in the nick of time. But then we meet Prim Henline, which is the host of the contest, and she is, excuse my French, a bitch. Pretty much pretty much the name of the game here is how much of a bitch can you be? Which, when you put them up against Rarity's generosity, they all seem like Rarity seems like a not such a bitch. So I guess
But
that's
she
what they're going
totally is
for.
the rest of the time.
Right, but when you're using them as a sounding board, it's not really. Anyways, I guess that's what they were going for. It ends up that Rarity's going to go last in the contest because she was late. She was only there a couple seconds before they were going to get started. Started with what? I'm not even sure. Putting their dresses away, I guess. I'm not even sure. And then whoever wins get to meet with top designers, and the rest of them have to go home early. I'm guessing first day of Fashion Week or something. I don't know. Whatever. And then we meet Surrey Polo Mare from the Ponyville Knitters League, who I honestly don't believe that Rarity really remembers at all. But, just kind of said, yeah, I remember you, because that's the nice thing to say. So Surrey ends up helping Rarity get her stuff unloaded, notices that her dresses are really nice, and comments that they're way nicer than her stuff. And Rarity ends up lending this fabric that she made that's stretchy but not clingy, and shimmery but not showy, for some accents to Surrey. I'm sure this could only go the best possible way.
Definitely.
So, switch to the next day or later that day. They don't really make it clear. But Rarity is 30 minutes early this time. Mm-hmm. And then we find out that, as expected, Surrey used all the fabric for brand new dresses that looks exactly like Rarity's. And since she's before Rarity in the show, it'll look like Rarity ripped her off. So, and we find out that she didn't even sew them herself. They were sewn by another character, her assistant, called Coco Pommel.
Cocoa Puffs?
Cocoa Puffs.
Okay.
Surrey mentions that it's every pony for herself in this beat-em-up world, and we switch over to the rest of the main six, who are having a grand old time gallivanting around Manhattan, where Rarity comes in and she has one of her largest breakdowns ever. And she quotes that her generosity has finally ruined her. Twilight's like, don't worry, we got this. We're the stars of the show. We can do what we want. Mm-hmm. And then they steal all the fabric in the hotel room to make a new line of clothes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, whatever. She was tipping that bellhop like crazy, so I'm sure she can. I mean, she just digs up their currency from the ground. I mean, that is her magic power, after all.
Right. And last episode before this showed that gems are everywhere.
Right. They're just in the ground, period, everywhere. So, she'll just go out and dig some up if she needs some more money. So whatever. It seems like a currency that might have huge inflation issues, but, whatever.
They don't mind. They got gems.
I don't necessarily know how gems equal bits either, but that might just be a local Ponyville currency too, so who knows. After she gets her streak of inspiration, Rarity turns into evil sweatshop owner.
What?
And uses her friend's generosity to her advantage and makes them make dresses all night long, missing not only their hair appointments, but the show that she promised them, Henny on the Hills. Oh, and makes them go without food. She also does the name drop of the show in there somewhere. Is it friendship
all the time?
Is it friendship magic? Aha. Oh, and when they finally finish the dresses, I'm guessing the next morning, she doesn't even say thank you as she runs out the door. So, yeah, it's kind of the non-generosity. She's instantly swayed away from being generous. So, whatever. They go to the contest. The new line is a hit. Everybody loves it. But she looks out in the crowd, and her friends are nowhere to be seen. And she feels bad. Rarity feels bad.
Oh.
So she goes, Prim shows up and says, "Hey, why don't you address the crowd? Everybody wants to hear about your new line." And she looks back out at the spot where her friends are, and there's this rainbow glimmer that goes across the velvet rope. And then in her eyes is also a rainbow glitter that kind of explodes out. And she's like, "No, I have to go." And she runs out past the crowd and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she runs back to the hotel. She asks the bellhop if her friends are still there. And he says, "Nah, they left early this morning." And she's like, "No, what have I done? My friends hate me now because I turned them into sweatshop workers."
I didn't know they didn't want to be sweatshop workers. I thought it was their dream job.
And then there's a song reprise. And she eventually goes back to the contest area to tell Prim, thanks for the opportunity before she went back to Ponyville to find her friends. And then all of a sudden, her friends show up along with Suri Polomir, of which has told her friends and now Rarity that Rarity lost the contest.
What?
But Rarity says she doesn't even care because her friends are still there and she was upset. So
That is quite the bold move.
yeah, she's like, "I don't even care."
Lying to a princess.
Yeah. And then AJ, of course, being the honest one, tells it like it is and says, "Rarity, you were pretty rotten." Rainbow Dash is like, "Hey, that's kind of a dick move, AJ." And she's like, "Whatever."
Pretty bad when Rainbow's the one calling you out.
Right. Twilight mentions that they would never, they saw her, at her worst. They saw her one of her worst parts, but they are true friends, as the song goes. So
Are you gonna sing it?
no, they are true friends, and they would never let a spout of that kind of stuff ruin their friendship. At least not the first time around. Now, if she keeps doing it, if she continuously turns them into sweatshop workers, then maybe. Turns out Rarity was able to pull some strings somewhere off screen, maybe while she was singing the song reprise, that she was able to get a special showing of the musical Henny on the Hill just for her friends. They go. We then find out that Suri lied and is making her assistant Coco cover up for it as well. Everybody ends up loving the musical, even Rainbow Dash, who then rebuts and says, "It was alright." That was verbatim. That was a quote from the show. "It's alright." They ask Rarity how she got the extra showing, since it was just a special showing for them. And somehow she's like, "Oh, I agreed to do all the costumes for the costume designer for his next show." All right, this costume designer, 1, is really super lazy, and 2 is has some sort of wicked pull in this production company to be able to run a show an extra day for 6 people. But this also means that she's going to be away from Ponyville for a while because the job is in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Then Coco shows up, tells Rarity the truth, and that she quit working for Suri after Rarity's generosity and her friend's generosity changed her mind about being a generous person and being a liar and a cheat, like Suri was. Rarity then says, "Hey, sounds like you need a job. How about I just put my work on top of you? And you just take the costume designer job because you're already here in Manhattan." So, yeah, cool. So that plot inconvenience is taken care of, and Rarity gets to go back to Ponyville. Unfortunately, I think the fandom thinks that Rarity hired her to do it, when it sounds like she just turned over the job to her. Doesn't sound like she hired her personally, so hopefully people understand that. Though it has been talked about that might not be the last appearance of Coco.
All right, and I'll make these dresses and costumes for you. Oh wait, never mind. This person did.
Yeah.
I'm so generous.
Then we get the moral of the story. People may take advantage of your generosity, but you can't let it take away your generous spirit. And also, don't take advantage of your friend's generosity. Mm-hmm. Coco gave Rarity a present before she left. She finally opens it back in Ponyville, and it's a bobbin of rainbow thread that she puts on a shelf next to other bobbins that just so happen to be colored like the rest of the main 6, like their main coat colors. So the rainbow one does not represent Rainbow Dash necessarily, because there's a blue one that's the same color as her coat on the shelf, and after she sets it down, it shimmers like the velvet rope did earlier in the episode. So mysterious rainbow shimmers happening and things.
Keys. No, wait.
It might be. Who knows? Might be leading up to something. We might be getting some more stuff.
I think they just went with the fake the trope where it's just something fake at the end of the episode. Like the eyes from Castlevania or last episode with the fangs.
Possibly.
They just went with that trope and ran with it.
It's just an ongoing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Megan McCarthy did say, give a maybe to this being a thing that matters. So, but then again, it just was so vague that it did seem like something that matters. So, maybe they'll tie it in. Maybe they won't. We'll find out. Maybe the show just turned into Lost, where they just don't tie anything together.
But they totally tied it together in the worst way.
In the most rushed, whatever way possible.
JK, you're all dead.
Don't worry, you all died on the plane crash. It's just cool.
That's gay.
Silent Hill did it way before this. Knock it off. And even before that, Twilight Zone did it too.
I still can't decide if you all died in the plane crash is worse than it was all a dream.
It might be.
I've only seen It Was All a Dream once. And that ended with a tattoo whale.
Tattoo whale.
Which was in My Little Pony later as a cameo, so.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
The fail whale.
It's not a fail whale.
So that's pretty much the show, the episode. I'd say a mediocre. This is a mediocre episode for me.
Is it because it features?
No, it's not because it features Rarity. The songs, like I said before, I didn't really enjoy the songs personally. And the story is all about, it's literally about Rarity's generosity and how it can be used against her. How it's more of a weakness than a strength. But I guess that's kind of the point. They're kind of pointing out everybody's weaknesses at this point within their, they're building them up to be more than just one punch characters. And I don't know. I just kind of put it at medium level episode for me. What about for you?
I don't know. It's a Rarity episode, therefore it's not good.
But it's the first Rarity episode we've had in like forever, so
And that was a good thing. They broke this.
So they broke the streak, and therefore it's bad. That's why this episode's bad. Is they broke the Rarity streak, the lack of Rarity streak, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully we'll get more in the next episode, more good stuff. So, which I believe that's episode 9. So I think that's like the Rainbow Falls episode, or no, that's not the Rainbow Falls episode. It's the I can't even remember.
All I know is episode 11 will be a best episode.
Episode 11 will be the what episode?
Best episode.
Best episode, but that's not the one with Weird Al anymore. It's episode
right,
12.
but it's the one with Cadence.
Ah, yes, it is the one with Cadence. I almost forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, speaking of episodes, we will talk about a couple episode synopsises here. First up is the Rainbow Falls episode, which I had just mentioned. That is the week after next. Yeah, the 18th. And we have a synopsis here for it. As the Ponyville Relay Team prepares to compete in the upcoming Equestria Games trials, Rainbow Dash is excited to go with them until she receives an offer to join the ultra-competitive and more prestigious Cloudsteel team.
Spoilers, she goes with the original one.
Spoilers, she sticks around with the Ponyville Relay Team.
Yeah, it's almost like there's an element of loyalty.
Haven't we already discussed this with the Wonderbolts?
Or that this exact situation happened in episode 2.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Just driving it home. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Let's make a chant. Loyalty, loyalty.
Loyalty, loyalty. It loyal.
We also have a synopsis for episode 12, which was the one I was just talking about. Pinkie Pie must defend her status as a party pony when a mysterious visitor comes to town and plans a party for Rainbow Dash. That mysterious stranger is voiced by Weird Al and supposedly will be a musical episode. So, thumbs up on that one. That one is one to look forward to. That and, of course, the episode right before it because it has cadence, according to Daylight Darkle. It's one to look forward to because it has cadence. You get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And to your favorite sticking point of the show, somebody asked Megan that if Twilight's role as princess will be more important to the plot of any of the episodes in season 4 before the finale. And Megan McCarthy has said yes. So she has a reason to be princess. Maybe. We'll find out. Maybe.
Yeah, there's no reason to be a princess. They already have enough.
Maybe her reason is to be princess is so that she can hang out with Princess Cadence more.
Yeah, but when she tries, there'll be someone to stop her from being the best pony.
I'm trying to make this a good thing for you, because if she hangs out with her more, that means she'll be in the show more.
Cadence needs another song.
Cadence, Cadence, Cadence.
Uh-huh. It only makes sense for Cadence to do another song.
Only?
Considering what Cadence's name sort of sounds like. Cadence.
Nice. Well, you know, maybe she'll get a song this season. Probably not.
Dang it! She hasn't got one since season 2.
I'm not getting your hopes up, man, because then when it happens, if it happens, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like, surprise. Supplies. So next piece of news we have here is the herd census. I don't know if you've heard of this, but...
Ha!
Ha
ha! Pun! Calling you out.
The herd census is back this year. They had 22,000 people respond to the census. It's a 20-minute census about demographic to answer things like demographics, attitudes toward the show, the community, that kind of stuff. It's they've been doing it for the past couple of years. The first time I heard about it was at BronyCon 2011. Ooh,
I can put my birth date down as 2020.
You were born in the future. It only takes 20 minutes, and it helps bring demographics out about the show that you wouldn't normally get, and it's helpful for convincing that person who is really confused and really likes data. It's to convince your Twilight friends, hey, look at these demographics, maybe they'll be interesting to you, because we do have a very unique set of people that make up this fandom. So if you want to take part in that, you can head over to survey.herdcensus.com, and you can find it available in a multitude of languages, including French, Spanish, Dutch, German, Portuguese, simplified Chinese, and Russian. And they've heavily load tested it, but it hasn't been heavily load tested, I should say. If it's running a little bit slow, come back later, and you can do it. And then you have through the end of January to complete the survey. So head on over there and take part. Now on to a little bit of collectible card game news. The collectible card game Twitter did a question and answer segment, and there was a question asked about expansion packs for the collectible card game, and there's already talk of a second set of cards to be released in late March, early April, but they can't give any more details of that. And for those who are already worried about if they're pulling the Magic style thing where they've made major game tweaks and they don't work together anymore, blah, 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 set 1 and 2 cards will definitely be playable together. So they answered a bunch more questions. There's not necessarily a Trixie deck on the way. What else here? There might eventually be non-main 6 characters as deck leaders, so in future sets. There might be more than just Parasprites as troublemakers and as the troublemaker cards. So a bunch of good information in there. There might be a spike deck. I don't know how or why, but whatever. More Cutie Mark Crusaders in the future, because right now there's only a Scootaloo card. There's no Apple Bloom or Sweetie Belle card, so.
Why would they want to have Filthy Earth ponies as cards?
Because Master Race of Pegasi is only so massive. Only so massive. Only so masterful. Also, there was there's always new merch being released, and we don't really talk about it a lot, but the one thing that I did want to point out in these merchandise sets is they're releasing rainbow colored ponies, and not like not like Rainbow Dash, but like Twilight Sparkle and DJ Pone 3 and Applejack and Rarity and Doctor Who's all covered in rainbows. So, whatever.
Right.
So if you want just random rainbows splashed on ponies, you can pick those up. Also, iPhone cases. Generic.
Yeah, you want to hit that little gold demographic with smartphone cases.
That's right. Dem smartphone cases.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. 4 and 4S and 5 and 5S. No 5C, though. You can burn in hell, 5C. On two more pieces of news.
Oh, and no.
One of them is pony related, but more just of a comment. The episode with Derpy, Roundup, whatever. The episode that was supposed to be about Applejack, but nobody cared because, well, Derpy. Aired in Japan over the weekend, and we got to hear Japanese Derpy, and damn is she cute. The voice acting is cute, as per usual in the Japanese language voice acting for this whole series. I haven't been keeping up with it.
Song.
What's that?
I like the intro song.
The intro song's pretty good. They're doing good stuff with it over there, especially if you've been a fan of Japanese animation at all. So they're just taking the American style animation that we like so much and putting Japanese animation stuff on it, like crazy openings and opening songs and translated songs and translated voices, blah blah blah. So much good stuff. But Japanese Derpy is really cute. It's weird how much the voice can definitely add to something. So, and last but not least, totally tangentially related, the Main 6 development team, the team that was behind the Fighting is Magic project, that got taken down due to legal issues from Hasbro, dirty Hasbro.
Dirty Hasbro.
Has come back and given us a news post that pretty much covers their 2013, including some art from Lauren Faust that has a fawn-like character being surrounded by some little sprites. So it seems that they're still aiming for a 4-legged style fighting game, but from the sounds of it, they're going in a totally different direction than what they were using before. They're using a totally new engine, so they had to start over with that. They're using obviously totally new characters. You've seen a cow-based character. We've now seen like a fawn-based character, and a llama-based character. So
now it's My Little Whatever has 4 legs.
Pretty much. And they've pretty much got everything. They've got the engine basics down. They've got the tools developed. They've got the characters all created, and they've also got the legalities worked out this time before they do any major work on it. So
So there's not going to be another massive scare?
I hope not. So they have a couple of details to work through, which is why they can't go into a lot of specifics, but they'll be sorted soon. They're going to be moving their website. They're going to be starting a Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign to fund the main development. And then after the crowdfunding, the game development will start. So pretty much they're taking the same route that just about every indie development studio is taking these days. Crowdfund, have ridiculous stretch goals that you can't possibly meet, and start development. So, yeah, we'll see how this ends up going. But, yeah.
So, when do you expect the game to come out?
2016 or never.
2020, my birth year.
2020, your birth year. Yeah, that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much the show for today. So do you
No
have
con news?
what's that?
No con news?
No con news.
What?
I know, it's ridiculous, right? BabsCon didn't announce anybody new for once.
What? BabsCon, you're letting us down. We're gonna have someone next week.
I know. Let me just do it. Nope. The last thing on their website is still Peter New. BabsCon.
Well, Peter New's not so new anymore.
Yeah. Come on, BabsCon. Jeez. All right. Well, yep. No con news this week. So let's all have a cheer for BabsCon, even though they weren't in the news. Yay.
The news. We're not having news.
And we'll call this show a wrap. Unless you have something else to add.
Nope.
Nope. All right. Well, that brings us to the end. So we'll see everybody next week. Make sure you check out our Twitter at twitter.com/New Lunar Radio. Also check out YouTube, youtube.com/New Lunar Radio. And also I did want to mention one little snippet. As of recording this episode, one of our fearless background people, Havoc, is his birthday today. Woo!
Woo!
So, as of recording, happy birthday, Havoc. We love you and we miss you.
Mm-hmm.
So, please come back soon. All right. That's it, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.